Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So, our topic in this video will be about the introduction of programming. So, in this series video, uh, we will be using the W3 School, the site of W3 School, in, in which where you can find many kinds of tutorial there. W3 schools, just search in your browser, then click w3schools.com, then learn Python. So I will be introducing Python as your programming in fundamentals of computing. For this is one of the simplest or maybe the simplest language in programming nowadays. Okay, so we will be using this for the entire uh, until finals. So, and maybe you can read in advance also if you would like Python tutorial. So I will be discussing how the introduction, uh, how during how will you install the Python, and then your first program in Python. Okay, so this is just an overview of Python intro. So what is Python? So sige ng Python. So ang Python is a programming language created by Guido van Rossum, and it was released in 1991. So it was used for web development, software development, uh, in mathematics, and system scripting. So unsa ba ay mabuhat sa Python? It can create web applications. Ang web applications is mo ni siyang mga, for example, ang enrollment system sa school, no? That and it is accessed by web browsers, Google Chrome, Firefox. Those are web applications. Python can be used alongside software to create workflows. So Python can connect database system, no? Can read and modify files. uh, it can handle big data and perform complex in mathematics. Python can be used for rapid prototyping or for production-ready software development. Okay, so Python nowadays really booming, no? The what do you call this? The lines of progress is going higher when it comes to programming, no? Kay Python now is when it comes to artificial intelligence, mobile and web. So halos tanan na naa sa Python karon. And why really Python, no? Aside from other languages? So Python works on different platforms. So with the Windows, Mac, Linux, Raspberry Pi. So bisag asa siya ang Python. Python has simple syntax similar to English language. So sayo na sad siya. Python has syntax that allows developers to write programs with fewer lines. Python runs on an interpreter system, meaning that code can be executed as soon as it is written. So this means that prototyping can be very quick. So, pas na siya kung mag-run ka. Okay, line by line naman yung pag-execute. Pag magsulat niya, execute naman niya. So Python can be treated in a procedural way, or object oriented, or a functional way. So dynamic siya, no? So ang kanig yung Python dynamic gini siya nga programming language. The most recent major version of Python is Python 3. So which we shall using in this tutorial. However, Python 2, although not being updated with any other than the latest Python is Python 3, no? Python 3 series. So it is possible to write Python in an IDE environment such as Tony, PyCharm, NetBeans, or Eclipse, which are particularly useful when managing larger collections of Python files. So we can run Python codes in this IDE environment. So when we say IDE, that is a compiler, no? Nanay built-in tanan nga Python, nanay mga libraries sa Python. Environment lang siya nga. But in this tutorial, in this video, in this series, we will be using one lang as our editor, just a notepad plus for you to use Python in a light way, nang daan rig kay siya sa inyong computer, no? Dili siya kinanglan og high-end nga computer. Unlike ning mga IDE nga NetBeans, PyCharm, it requires some specifications of computer. So Notepad is very light lang yun siya, and then we will run it in command prompt, no? Para pag-abot ninyo sa internet cafe, pwede ra mo mag-install og Python. Download ra nyo dito, then maka-create na mo og program. So Python syntax computer. So Python was designed for readability, you know. I think not only Python, almost all in programming languages is similar to English language with influence from mathematics. So ang programming yun siya na siya some part of mathematics nga mga words or something like similarities. Python uses new lines to complete a command. So ang Python, ang indentation is very important yun din eh. No? Python relies on indentation, white space, munang space, no? To define scope, such as the scope of loops, functions, and classes. So other programming languages often use curly braces. Okay, so that was the some overview about Python. The example syntax of Python: hello world. This will print hello world in your screen using the print word. Okay, get started. So installation. So in this series, it will be teaching you how to install. So first is you need to download a Python, where you can get in Python. Just search Python download, and click this one, then downloads this one 3.9. Click this one, download. In my case, I have already downloads, then this one 3.9. Okay, 64, it is a 64-bit because my system runs in a 64-bit. So after you download, just install this, double click, then run, then install now. Just check this, install launcher, install now. So initializing, setup, progress. Okay, that will take time, so I will Cancel that one since I have already Python installed in my computer. Okay, Python dash version. So to check if you have Python installed on your PC, search in the start bar for Python profile in command line. So when you see command line, the blank screen is CMD. If you will type the CMD, the command prompt will appear. Just click it one. Type down na to Python dash dash version. So this is the version I have in my computer and it is installed already. See, this is the syntax. So nanatay Python. Python is an interpreted language. This means that as a developer, you write Python with the extension of .py files in a text editor and then put those files in the Python interpreter to be executed. So let's say for example, we will try to write our first Python program. So we will be using Notepad++ for that, so that we have numbering system. And so okay, for example, this one we will be printing the printing hello or hello TCM. Save. So in this case, I will be saving this into desktop and then we will name it my first program. My first program .py. Do not forget this .py extension. No? Okay. Remember, I save it on the desktop. Okay. Then to run that, you need to go to your desktop, of course. No. This command line is a what you call this representation in command base of your folders. You see, for example, if you are in a command line, we are now in users June, C users June. So if we will go that in the folder, we are here C users and then June. Okay, so we are here now. Kung folder itong istorya, kini siya in command line lang. So tumag sa unang operating system, DOS base. So they will be accessing the files through here on all commands, no. Ngayon na. So karon kay user interfaces naman, ana siya mga folders ana no, i-click na nato. Ana siya icons, okay? So going back to the topic, so our file it was saved on the desktop. So desktop is here in the desktop folder. Then it name sa tingin my first program nara. So musulod ta sa desktop. So kung gusto ta musulod sa desktop, we will use the command cd desktop. Kung gusto ka musulod anang folder na. Kung mugawas mo ka cd dot dot. Okay, balik ta cd desktop. Then so if we want to run the Python, we need to write the Python word and then the file name my first program.py. Can't open file error, no such file directory. My first program eh. My first program. Okay, so it prints the hello TCM. Okay, so far, so that is the our first program.